we live? It looks like we are. Hey, it's Julie from Do Business Like a Woman. How are you? How you doing on this Thursday, isn't it? Thursday at 11 a.m. UK, the time when we come together and do our live training in the Do Business Like a Woman community. And my intention with this is to make it so much better than most of the trainings that you pay for. So today I'm talking to you about what to do this week to enroll 3 new clients from Facebook. And I want this to be a message of hope for you because there have been some challenges in the online world recently, in the coaching world. The way that people are marketing, the way people are buying has changed significantly. And you may have experienced this and you may have felt it. And it may have felt like things getting harder to connect with clients and bring them on. It may have felt like your audience not buying. And we're going to get into all of that. But what I'm going to do in today's training is essentially share with you 5 things you can do to enroll 3 clients in the next 7 days if you so choose. And I'm going to give you a bonus strategy at the end, so stick around, because the last time I did this bonus strategy on Facebook, I was able to create 20k in 2 weeks using this strategy that I'm going to give you at the end as well. So that's available for those that want to supercharge. But before we get there, I want to talk a little bit about what's happening, in today's online marketplace for coaches. I want to talk about the problem as you perceive it and also what it really is, because it's not what you think. And I know this because I've experienced it, and I've also been working for the last year behind the scenes in some bigger coaching companies, supporting them, seeing what's working, seeing what's not working, and really getting those insights that I'm going to share with you. So I'd like to start by talking about what's really going on, and then we'll get into why this can work for you. And there's actually a golden opportunity for you in all of this. So you're definitely going to want to tune in and really hear that piece. I want to show you that it can be easy. It can be a lot, I don't want to say easy, that's the wrong wording, but it can be simpler than you think when you understand what I'm going to explain today. Because the reason it feels so hard right now is because we're misunderstanding what's actually happening, and we're trying to do things the way we've always done them, and it isn't working anymore. So we need to go with what is working, and that's what I'm going to share today. So let's dive in. What I would love to start with is the problem. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the problem as you think it is, and then what the actual real problem is. So what you perceive the problem to be, and I'm saying you, but I did exactly the same thing, right? So what we perceive it to be is it's a me thing, right? So you may experience your audience are not buying, you're posting more. What you used to do to create clients online isn't working anymore. You may experience it as lots and lots of posting and getting crickets. You may experience it as your numbers in your launches going down, less interaction. You may experience it that what you used to do to connect in the DMs, people are ignoring you and ghosting you, and it feels very hard. Now, what we do is we tell ourselves stories about what it means. And so we think this is a me problem. This is what I did, right? I thought, oh my God, I'm rubbish at what I do. Nobody wants to work with me. What I have to offer, it isn't valuable. And it sent me down a rabbit hole, and to the point where I pretty much backed off my business for about 1.5 years. And as I say, I was consulting, doing other things in the industry, but I wasn't building my own business, and I really backed off. So you might also be thinking it's a you problem and having some of those feelings of like, I'm not good enough. This is about me. The other thing you might be saying to yourself is, this is my messaging. And it is and it isn't. So it's not, it might be your messaging, but not in the way you think. So you might think that your messaging is way off and that no one's vibing with what you have to offer. That is not the case. But what is likely missing is the specificity needed. So whereas before, and I'm going to give you an example of this as we kind of go through. So whereas before you could be quite general and say something quite general like, I'll give you an example in a minute. But now you have to get so specific and talk to the main problem that your person is having right now that they need solved now, not 10 years in the future, not a year in the future, not someday, but what is that burning desire, that outcome that they want right now? And then how do you solve it for them? And it's also, it cannot be what you think they need. I've seen coaches make this mistake so many times. Well, this is what they need, so but they don't want it, so they're not going to buy it off you. It has to be, meet them where they are. What do they want? What are your people telling you that they want and they will pay for? And then get that message dialed all the way in specific. Here's an example for you. I'm going to use copywriting services because I saw this yesterday when I was looking around on Facebook. Here is what used to work in a more sort of generalized message. So this is like a copywriter, right? I do copywriting to help you with your social media campaigns, launching and business strategy. Sounds good, right? Sounds all right. Kind of know what she does. It's way too vague in today's market. What does she do? Is it strategy? Is it launch? Is it copywriting? Is she going to do my emails? What result is she going to get me? Making me think way too hard. Here is what this person could say, right? I will create a 10-part email sequence for you to use on your live launch and increase your conversion by 50%. Right? Specific problem, specific result for a specific person. Who doesn't want that, right? And I'm not saying maybe you don't want that specifically, but the person who wants that, do you think they're going to go and look for other copywriters, or are they going to go straight for her? Relevancy, specificity. I'm quite impressed that I can say that word. I couldn't always say that word, but you've got to be that dialed in with your message. It's not as hard as you think, and often we're just a few degrees off, but more than ever, we have to lean into what our audience want from us. And I'm going to talk to you about how to do that because it fits in with the rest of the training and the rest of the actions that you are going to take to get your 3 clients. Okay. But I wanted to start with that. So we were talking about, what you think the problem might be. So other things you might say is, you're not getting enough leads, right? We've all said that. I don't know a business owner who has not said that. I just need more leads. I promise you that is not your problem. Now, you're welcome to bring in more leads. Absolutely do so. But I have seen businesses at all levels chuck more and more money into just churning more leads in, and they're not doing what I'm going to teach you today. And so it's like having a leaky bucket and all the leads are just falling out the bottom without ever connecting with the coach, without ever becoming a client, without ever converting. So just ramping up your lead flow alone will not solve the problem. You are misdiagnosing. And you may just say, well, my audience aren't buying. And again, I've been there. We say that too, right? And it can get frustrating to the point where we can get pissed. Am I allowed to say that? We can get angry at our audience, right? Why are they not buying? I'm showing up, I'm posting, I'm giving all this value. What's going on, right? Well, you're going to understand. Stick with me because you're going to understand what's going on and you're going to understand how to remedy it. And for those that do this, they are going to be so successful this year and in the years to come. Those that don't are not. All right. And so, look, what the problem, and I've got my notes here. So if you see me glancing down, that's what I'm doing. What the problem actually is, simply there has been a change in buyer behavior. That's it. Nothing else. There's been a change in how people buy coaching online. End of story. That's it. We can all go home. I'm joking, but you can relax because it's not a you problem. It's not a messaging problem, although we need to dial that in. It's not a leads problem. You don't have to build another techie funnel. You don't have to go and do Facebook ads. You don't have to do some weird and wonderful new thing, right? I'm going to tell you what you do need to do to fix this. But isn't it a relief just to know it's not you? It's just that the way people are buying online has changed. And when we understand that, we can do something with that. So are you picking up what I'm putting down? Put a yes in the comments if you are getting this and you want to hear the solution. And by the way, if you're on replay, give me a little cheeky hashtag replay in the comments. Love my replay watchers. So that's what the problem really is. Now, the symptoms of that, some of the things we are doing that are exacerbating the problem, making it worse, we are not focusing on relationships and we're not connecting enough. We're not dialing in our message enough and getting really specific. Remember what I said, solve that absolute urgent problem that they want. Give them the thing they want now. Give them what they want. Simple. But we're not doing that. And we're not getting specific in our message, and we're not focusing on relationship building and cultivating. Now, the way in which buyer behavior has changed, people are taking much longer to make a buying decision, particularly when it comes to coaching, which is not an essential item for most people, particularly when it comes to choosing a coach. And especially when it's something that's a little bit more higher ticket. So say something that's $3,000 and above. People are not making a snap decision. So it's very rare these days that people come straight in from an ad cold, go to a webinar, get on a sales call and buy. Used to be like that, isn't anymore, but it's okay. People are taking longer to make that buying decision. My mentor talks about how there is a trust recession, right? Because so many of us, you will relate to this, have been burned by going and shelling out thousands for a program that had really good marketing, but we did not get the result we want. It was not good on the inside, the program, right? So people are less trusting. Now, this is what's going on, all right? And people need to consume at least 7 hours of your content, watching you. Video is best. They want to feel your energy. They want to hear your voice, usually before they will ever consider working and investing to work with you. 7 hours of content. Let that sink in. Write that down, because if you implement on that, it's a game changer for you right away, okay? So with all of this in mind, what does this tell us as coaches, as business owners who want to bring on more clients? Because I assume that's why you're here. It tells us we need to focus on building longer term relationships. We need to be connecting and leaning into our audience more. And we need to be dialing that message in. I'm going to give you very specific actions on how to do this. So hang on, we're getting there. But first, I want to tell you what not to do, right? Because this will be holding you back. Do not be getting distracted by all the latest AI fads, tech, new funnels, new fancy strategies with bells and whistles. Those kind of marketing you see on Facebook that says, no need to post content, no need to do sales calls. I'll show you how to get all the clients you want. And it's like, just sit back and do nothing and they're going to fall in your lap. Will not work. Being passive does not work in today's market. So there's some of the things not to do. You do not need a fancier funnel. You do not need more tech. You do not need a 50-part email sequence with all the bells and whistles before you've done what I'm going to teach you today. You don't need any of that stuff. Hear me on this. This will be really inspiring for you, because let's think about it. For most coaches here who I'm speaking to, you only need a very small amount of people each year to actually make a good chunk of money. Let's look at the math. And math is not my strong point. But say you have 20 people over the course of the whole year and you are selling a 5K package. Guess what? You sell a 5K package to 20 people over the whole year, you've just made 6 figures. That isn't that hard. That's easy. Well, again, there's that word easy. I don't want to do that, right? Because I don't want to mislead that, oh, this is so easy. It's not, but it can be simple. It can be simple. What I want to demonstrate there is that this is more than possible for you. It really, really is, right? Because that's just 5 people per quarter. 5 people per quarter. Now, what about if somebody renews? So maybe you bring someone in, they pay 5K, they work with you for a quarter and they renew. So now you need 19 people, you don't need 20. So see what I'm saying? It's a lot easier. That is not a lot of people when we focus on building those relationships. Because do you think you can build a relationship over the course of a year with 20 people, 20 ideal fit clients? I know you can when you do what I teach and what I share. So that should be a message of hope. Now, maybe your package isn't 5K, maybe yours is 3K, for example, or more or less, right? That's okay. Just adjust the numbers up or down. Say your package is 3K, for example. Well, even if you sold 20 of those over a year, that's 60,000, which is more than a lot of people earn in the UK. You know, take it upwards. Maybe your package is 10K. Amazing, right? You're going to make double. So I wanted to share that with you. Hopefully that is inspiring for you. Now, if you are anything like me and you took a bit of a break, or you weren't consistent as you could be, or you have been posting, because this was my story for a long time towards the end of when I sort of ramped down and went and did some consulting and high ticket sales for other coaches. I was posting, I was still doing live launching, but I felt like I was dragging people through and it was getting so hard, and I was getting pissed and bitter and, pissed off and bitter and annoyed. And maybe you feel like this. Maybe you're a bit mad at your audience, right? It's okay to admit we've all felt that way. But obviously that's not helpful, right? And it's not true either. So if you feel like that, if you feel a bit frustrated, you've been posting to no avail, but you're excited to do something different, let me share what the something different is. And this absolutely, hands down, can work for you to bring in 3 new clients in a very short space of time, in a week, if you really focused and you wanted to. Right, so here they are. Here are your 5 action steps and 1 bonus. You're going to want to write this down. And by the way, give this video a love or a like if you are getting something from it. I really hope you are. So number one, you are going to reignite and reconnect with previous clients or previous leads. Don't poo-poo this. Do not think, oh, Julie, that's rubbish. It's too simple. I don't have anyone that wants to work with me. I've made that mistake before. Here's how I know this works. When I have taken the time to go back through my old lead lists, we used to keep them on Trello boards, look back through previous clients and just reached out, reconnected, seen how they're getting on. I had all the stories in my head. They're not going to want to hear from you. They thought you were crap. They didn't, even though they gave me amazing success stories and testimonials and they got results, this was some of the self-talk, some of the doubt, right, in my head. They're not going to want to hear from you. They stopped working with you for a reason, blah-de-blah-de-blah, meh, right? Ignore that voice, contact them anyway. What I experienced, and I think what you'll experience, is people being so glad to hear from you, people reconnecting, people reaching out, people asking to work with you again, reigniting old leads that maybe didn't sign up, but now they're ready, they've been through enough pain, or they're evolved and they're ready for you and your service. So please hear me on this. Previous clients, people who've interacted with you in your business before, they are an immediate source of hot leads for you that you can reignite like that. So definitely do that. Here's another tip. This one is amazing. So again, don't poo-poo it. Try it. If you don't do these things, you're not going to get the result. I remember the first time someone told me this and I was like, oh, that's rubbish. There's no one from back then who I want to work with. Didn't do it. And then about a year later, I actually did it. And I was like, oh, wow, there's loads of leads here. And I think I got some clients when I did it. But here it is. go back through your business email, so the email account that you use for business, look back through from a year or two ago. You will find leads and clients in there that you had completely forgotten about. And you'll be like, oh, hell, I forgot about her, let me reconnect. Right, so you just do that. Just go back through your old emails, because I'm terrible at deleting them. I keep them. Well, turns out maybe it was a good thing. So reigniting previous clients, previous leads. A note on this: no shame, right? I know a big blocker for me when I was ready to kind of relaunch the coaching part of my business and the strategy part of my business, I was like, I had some shame. I was like, what are people going to think, that I haven't been active? I haven't been really promoting my business in the way that I did. They're going to judge me. They're going to think I don't know what I'm talking about because I went and did something else for a bit. That's just a load of shame, rubbishy talk. So let's just ignore that. Pick yourself back up. No explaining. You don't owe anyone an explanation. Pick up and get back on. Another thing from my mentor, and I think she got this from her mentor, is amateurs start over and over again, and experts just pick up where they left off and carry on. So be the expert, pick up where you left off and just carry right on. No shame, no explanations, do it. Okay, so that was number one. Number two, you're going to want to turn social media browsers into ready to invest clients. And you're going to want to do that by building a community. I love to do it inside a Facebook group, but you want somewhere you can build community where you can actually connect with them. And this is your space. So you're going to turn those social media browsers into ready to invest clients by building that community. I'll do some more training on that another day. Let me know if you would like to learn how to do that. Just put community in the chat if that's something you would like more training on. But you want to build a community because you need a place that is yours, where your people are gathered, where you can connect, talk to them, have a conversation, have that connection. Because remember, this is all about relationship building. This is all about connection. Which leads me on to number three, and you're going to want to note these down. Number three is simply relationship, relationship, relationship. And I said it 3 times because remember what we were saying back at the beginning of the training, that, you know, people need longer. They need more of a relationship. So where before we could just scratch the surface with someone, that doesn't fly anymore. So for us, this is good because remember, you only need around 20 people or a few more over a year, but you get to create those relationships, whether it's online or offline. And I don't know about you, but I'm a people person. I'm an introvert, but I love people and I love serving and connecting. So this is no hardship for me. I enjoy it, right? Connecting with people, serving them, going deep and getting to know them. For me, this is a huge relief. I love it because it's not like I don't have to build this massive empire with all these funnels and tech and get in with the Facebook ads and hire a Facebook ad expert. I don't need to do any of that. Just need to connect on a deeper level with some people over time, serve them, talk to them, listen to them, use these, and build that community and that connection. So that was number 3, relationship, relationship, relationship. Number 4 is super specific, dialed in message, dealing with the problem that they want solved right now. We talked about it at the beginning. That's number 4. Okay. And then number 5 is make offers. Make offers. Julie said so. All right. So you've got to make offers. I used to just simply call this ask. But what I've seen over and over, and I can do this too, is we do not offer. We do not do this, right? We don't make enough offers. You cannot sit back and be passive in today's market. We have to be building those relationships, and then we have to be offering and inviting people. Would you like to come and work with me in blah de blah package? I've got this thing. Are you interested? Would you like it? Once you've built the relationship, it's easy. It's a no-brainer. Oh, there's that word again. Let me change out the word easy for simple, right? It gets to be simple. Gets to be simple. But it doesn't mean that there's not no work. Let's be real. You know, like if it was easy as keeps slipping out my mouth, then everyone would just be sitting back and they'd be like multi-million pound coaches without making any effort. That's not what it's about. There is healthy hustle that goes into this. There is work, there's consistency, there's trust that needs to be built, because remember, we're in that trust recession. But you need to be making offers and you need to be asking and inviting. And on that note, I'm currently working with a few clients to help them with their launch strategy. They are live launching, and what I've been doing is helping them, coaching them on the strategy behind the scenes, but also writing copy for them for their launch. So as I said at the beginning, like an email sequence with 10 emails which actually converts, helps them convert double the amount of people in their live launch, right? So if you're someone who's live launching and you would love that support, reach out to me, send me a DM, because I am supporting with that right now and we are getting amazing results. I am someone who has live launched many, many times over the last, however many years. I've been doing this over 10 years, right? So I've live launched again and again very successfully. I've also coached other people how to do it, and I've worked behind the scenes in many multiple six-figure coaching businesses and helped them to have six-figure launches, live launching. If you don't know what live launching is, I'm going to talk about it right now, because that is actually the bonus activity. Do you remember back at the beginning I said I promised I would also share a bonus activity? So this is what I've just given you, the 5 activities I've given you. You can do them right away to get your 3 clients, right? Absolutely, hands down, they will work. If you are someone who is really going for it and you want to put fire on this, you want to put like fuel on the fire, you may want to consider a live launch experience. And what I mean by that is some kind of event. It's usually online. People used to call them challenges, or, I love to call them an experience. And this is how I always taught it. Red carpet experience, go all in, right? With your people. But what you want to do is create that experience and you do something with them live, because remember, it's about connection, it's about relationship, and there are many strategies I have that people are not doing, and that's why their people are not buying from them. But I actually teach you how to do this and how to build that relationship in a very short amount of time. So the trust is there. So you're going to want to know how to do this. And I have a whole strategy for this. So I'm working with people on this. But I also have a freebie. At the time when I made that 20K on Facebook in a couple of weeks, and it was about a year and a half ago, because it was right before what I actually did was I did that and I used that deposit to buy this house that I'm now living in, that I've been doing up for the last year. That's the other thing I've been busy doing. But it absolutely still works now, because I have a client doing it right now. And I actually have a freebie, because at the time that I did that, I documented what I did and I wrote it down, and I actually sold it at the time for about I think it was like £97 or something. But I've got a Google Doc with the step-by-step strategy for how to do that, and loads of templates and loads of examples. I'm going to give you that because you're in my community. I'm going to give you that for free. Whole strategy. So if you want that, type into the comments, cash from Facebook, and I will get that freebie over to you ASAP, because that's going to give you the whole strategy that is working now. And if you want to go and create a cash infusion live launch, you can do that. And if you want to come and have me support you and work with you on it, we can absolutely look at that too. But take the freebie, right? I'm giving you the strategy for no cost. I want you to have it. So as part of the value that I want to bring to this community. So I'm going to wrap it up there. Do we need a recap? So we just talked about, what the problem is, what you think it is, and what it actually is. And remember, the actual problem is just that buying behavior has changed online. We talked about what not to do to try and solve it, and then we talked about what to do. And I gave you 5 activities: reigniting previous leads and clients, turning social media browsers into ready to invest buyers by building community and connecting, relationship, super dialed in messaging, solving their right now problem that they'll pay for, and then making offers. So you go, you do that, and you let me know how you get on. I'm rooting for you. I'm here. I'm here to support you. DM me with any questions. Happy to chat about this strategy or anything that I've said. You can do this, you really can. And the world needs your message. So, ladies, let's put some fire under it and let's go do this. Lots of love. See you next week. Bye.